Hi everybody, this is Chef Anne-Marie. Welcome to my commercial kitchen. I am starting a series. This is the first of 6 so far that will be live every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Welcome. We are going to try and get everybody comfortable to be cooking without recipes in kitchens, to make you feel like you know your basics so that you can move forward. I am cooking for myself today. I'm here by myself, so bear with me. I'm not always seeing people popping on and conversations, but I'm going to try and watch all the questions. We're going to make salad dressings today. And the first thing that you should always do, and I have a computer going at the same time, so I apologize. So the first thing you should do is always have these ingredients in your pantry. We here at Chef Anne-Marie I want you to make sure that you have certain things in your pantries at all times, because then you can make it. And to run out and just stock your pantry is very, very expensive. So I started with salad dressings because it's something you can make real quick. It's something that is more healthy for you, and it's a good start to stocking your pantry. So, and again, my first live thing, so once I get through all this stuff I want to say, well, I'm just going to start cooking, and then hopefully you'll enjoy and have questions and answer. Always wash your hands and don't lick. It's a very bad habit to lick the spoon or lick things and lick your finger. In the times that we're in the old days, when you cook commercially, you never do it. But if you're cooking for your family, not a big deal. But I think with everything going on and not knowing who has what and all that, I think it's a good habit to get into, not to lick your fingers. But I've got some great alternatives for you. So that is my sanitation tip for the day. One of the things that I want to talk about during every class is the mise en place. That's a term, it's a French term. They use it in the culinary world, and it's about putting things, loosely translated means things in their place. But in the culinary world, it means getting yourself together and getting all your things close to you so you can just cook and not be interrupted all the time. It's really good for you to be organized, and so mise en place is very important. So you'll want, what I do is when I get started on cooking, I just make a quick trip around the kitchen and grab what I need so that I don't have to be interrupted. So I'm going to do that real quick. Hi everyone, welcome, and we're doing mise en place. We're pulling things in and getting things ready. So I'm going to go over here, grab some bowls, a whisk, different things, and then we're going to get started. So grab, if you want to cook with us, grab something. If not, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and one of the things that I needed to grab was some bowls and a whip and a spoon, and I really work hard to keep things real close to us. I have a bunch of spoons here. We have a whole basket here. I don't know if you can see this, but it is all of our vinegars and oils and things like that. So I think I have everything here that we need to get started. We put up a post. Oh, I just thought of one thing. I'll be right back. We're going to talk about that later. I'll grab it later. So I just have to get through this and I won't be as nervous. As I said before, welcome everybody. We are getting things ready and using mise en place, which is getting your things in your place. I did a list on Facebook ingredients you should have. So let's go through the ingredients. Mayonnaise is one of them. And I have a big tub of it because I do commercial. Mustards. Let's talk about mustards. Mustards. Yellow mustard, Grey Poupon, must-haves, and you'll see why as we go. Mayonnaise. Some ketchup. Ketchup is another thing that you should have. And relish. I didn't put that on the list, but relish is important too. So all the stuff you make burgers with and stuff like that can be made into salad dressings because that's the standard. Salad dressings are amazing. Let's talk about peppers. I like to have several peppers so that I can play. What I recommend is that you start with black pepper for sure and lemon pepper and crushed pepper. Red pepper. And after that, you can move into other peppers, but that is a good start. I like to have a good coarse salt. I like to have granulated, and don't buy, sounds real silly, but you have salt. So don't buy all those seasonings that have salt in them because you can't really pay attention to, you can't adjust the salt that needs to be on there. So I buy granulated onion and tarragon leaves. I had some other stuff. Let's talk vinegars. White wine vinegar. Apple cider vinegar. Well, you can't see it very well, but balsamic vinegar. And red wine vinegar. Those are the vinegars that I highly recommend because they are the base for all salad dressings. Did you know that salad dressings are either mayonnaise based or oil and vinegar based? Which mayonnaise is just oil, egg, and a little bit of vinegar. And I would teach you how to make mayonnaise, but I don't totally recommend it because it doesn't have a good shelf life. And there's good products out there right now that you can get good mayonnaise and keep. So I recommend you make as much as you can from home, but mayonnaise, why risk it? That's why people worry about potato salad, is because in the old days they used to use mayonnaise, and then they would make the potato salad and they'd leave it out in the sun and then people would get sick. So when you hear about people worry about potato salad or worry about things laid out, it's because they used to use real mayonnaise and things, which is egg, and egg left out with nothing to stabilize it will actually make you sick. So store-bought mayonnaise is a good thing. There are some good things. But on the same point, if you're making your own salad dressings, you're saving a lot of calories, you're saving a lot of things you can't even pronounce. It's more healthy for you, so I highly recommend you do your own salad dressing. Okay, granulated garlic is another one. I'm gonna check my list here to always have salt and pepper on hand, and I again have it like this so I can just pinch and go. I do wear gloves when I'm cooking in my kitchen, except today because of the video I am going to be doing this glove-free, which is strange for me, but I'm only cooking for me, so I can do that. If you're touching food, it's a good idea to wear gloves. So here we go, let's get cooking. First, I want to say that I want you to look at these awesome greens. When you're making salad dressing, make your salad first before you make your dressing. Or at least pull out your greens. You know why? Because when you're tasting things, I use tasting spoons when I'm making sauces, when I'm making anything. But when it comes to salad, I always use greens because it changes the flavor. And your different greens is going to make the salad dressing taste different. So when you're tasting, as we make our salad, we're going to use these greens. And these greens, as you might have seen from my previous video, these greens came from Eunomia Farms. Andrew at Eunomia Farms is the farmer, and he's here in Woodinville local, and he gave me these greens for this class, and they are awesome. I wish you could smell them and taste them, and we'll go through those. I've got mixed greens and baby kale here, which is a fun thing to do, but it's a different flavor than to each other. Okay, so now here comes my part. I'm just gonna start cooking, and then you're gonna ask questions, and I'm hopefully gonna see the questions. If I'm not answering your question, please bring it up. I have seen some of you come on, like Kay and Laura. Hi everybody out there. Joan in Florida, nice to see you. I just haven't, Kathy, I haven't seen everyone scroll yet, so I'm doing the best I can. So let's get started. And if you want to hear about a salad dressing, and I am not doing it, then you go ahead and ask those questions. So first, we're going to start with vinaigrette. Vinaigrette is one of those things that if you can keep this ratio, you will be able to do anything. And the ratio is 2 to 1. So I don't measure. If you are a measurer, then measure. I don't measure, but I do know how to make a vinaigrette. The basic vinaigrette is white wine, or I'll do a red wine vinegar. So I'm gonna do 2 to 1. What that means is I'm gonna do 1 part vinegar and 2 parts olive oil. So, and it's kind of cool because if you let your salad dressing sit, see how it separates? I don't know if you can see that in there, how it separates. You can tell, if you wait a second, that I don't have enough vinegar in there because I've got about 3 parts olive oil to 1 part vinegar. So I'm gonna add a little bit more vinegar just to make sure I have enough, and we can adjust it later. That's the other beauty part of this. So making any kind of vinaigrette, whether it be balsamic, whether it be a raspberry vinaigrette, any of those things, you want a 2 to 1 ratio. So 2 parts, whether it's cups, tablespoons, whatever, to 1 part vinegar. That is, if you know that, you can make anything. So I pretty much still want a little more vinegar so I can see it. Again, as I've chatted, you can see this. One of the things that I do is I like to take my bowl, a big bowl, and I'll do this later, is make a salad dressing in here in a small amount, and then toss your greens, and you just, it takes 2 minutes when you get comfortable with this and to make your salad dressing, and it can go with anything. So I've got my oil and vinegar, and I'm going to mix it up, and as you can see, it kind of gets a creamy look to it, but as it separates, it'll continue to separate. And as it separates, you'll have to keep stirring and stirring. Well, one of the things with vinaigrette is, see how with mise en place, we have it all right here. A little bit, now I have a small amount, so it's a little bit. If I was doing 2 cups oil to 1 cup vinegar, any kind of oil, any kind of vinegar, I would use a teaspoon. But because I have a small amount of oil and vinegar, I'm just gonna use this much. Now, here's a word I'm gonna teach you. It's called emulsifier. What this is, and I'm gonna drop this into my mixture. As you can see, it just a little bit. I'm going to mix it up. And it's called an emulsifier because it makes it stay together. It won't separate, it takes longer. If you're trying to do it for a big party, you want to do it in a blender so it really stays, but for eating dinner that night in a small amount, just plop a little bit of vinegar, mustard in the oil and vinegar. And then always salt and pepper. And then from there, you can do whatever you like. So I've got, there's a basic vinaigrette. Look at that, 2 seconds. You can make a vinaigrette for your family, for you and your husband. A lot of people ask me, what do I do about when there's only 2 people in the house? Well, I make the vinegar in the bowl, and I make the vinaigrette in the bowl with the salad, get it done, it's all good. Now I can play with it. I could add some onion to it. I could add any herb you like. I could chop up some parsley and put it in. One second. I could chop up some parsley and put it in there. We can do whatever. Doesn't take much. Take a spoon, mix it up, and you've got a nice vinaigrette. So there you go, first salad dressing done. So let's talk about that. I can crush raspberries and make a raspberry vinaigrette. I can use balsamic and do a balsamic vinaigrette. In fact, let's do that right now. We've got the time. I'm gonna grab us another small bowl. So again, let's start with the oil. I like olive oil. I'm gonna do 2 parts oil, and it doesn't matter which you start with. Last one I started with vinegar, this one I started with oil. I've got a little bit of oil here, quite a bit actually. I've got balsamic, and I'm gonna go 2 to 1. And then I'm going to do, this time I'm gonna do yellow mustard, because yellow mustard works too. That's why we keep these things on hand and in stock. I'm gonna put that in there. We're gonna mix it up. As you can see, we need a little bit more. This one didn't go together as quick, so I'm gonna add a little bit more mustard. You can do whichever mustard. I just wanted to show you. You can use either mustard. And amazingly enough, the mustard doesn't really add to the flavor. It actually just emulsifies it, because the vinegar is so strong, and everything is all about balance. Don't forget your salt and pepper. Salt, pepper, mix it up. Now, let's bring back the vinaigrette and let's taste the difference. I'm gonna try it with the kale and with the mixed green. So what you're looking for, now I'm not used to this part, and eating and talking. What you're looking for is balance. You don't want it to knock you over with the vinegar, but you don't want it to taste like oil either. You get a nice solid flavor. If you're ever cooking and something seems like it really needs to be something, you need something, but you've got all your ingredients in there, you have good balance, but it just needs something, salt. If you need a bite to it, you add the pepper. But we always adjust with salt and pepper at the end of this. So this is good, but let's try this, the vinaigrette. And you can see the vinaigrette staying where it needs to be. See, now I like the vinegar, the red wine vinegar vinaigrette with the kale, but the other one tastes better with the mixed greens. So it's all a preference. It all depends on the accoutrements that you're putting in your salad. Okay. So we have this vinaigrette thing down. We can add whatever you like. We can add tarragon. I love a red wine vinegar dressing with tarragon to add to a potato salad instead of mayonnaise. Amazing. It's German potato salad. Hi Lisa. Hi Wendy. So now that's one type of salad dressing. Before I forget, the other thing I love to do is add blue cheese to the balsamic vinaigrette. That's really good too. You just grate some cheese in there, throw it in, mix it up, blend it. It's amazing. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the exciting salad dressing. We're gonna move on to, and I don't have any assistants here, so hang in there. We are gonna move into the mayonnaise-based salad dressings. So, again, we're gonna take our little bowl here. Let's do it in this one. We're going to take some mayonnaise. I'm gonna have a lot of salad here in the next day or two. We just take, and again, we start with mayonnaise, and that's the main base for most salad dressings. If you're doing ranch or something like that, the other kick up is they can do 50-50 sour cream and mayonnaise. But if you're doing blue cheese, you would just grate blue cheese in here, do salt and pepper, and do some mayonnaise, and it's amazing. So what I'm gonna teach you is, this is funny to me because my mom taught me this. This is part of why I'm doing this class, because I was blessed to have a mom that taught me. I have a culinary degree, and it cracks me up. Things that I think are basic, that everyone should know and probably knows, but they don't. And so that's why I wanted to share this. I'm going to do, if you're just tuning in, I want a little bit more mayonnaise. So we've got mayonnaise in the bowl. We're gonna put a little ketchup in there, just a little bit. And this is something I always adjust. A little bit of mustard, some mustard. And then a little bit of relish, like we're making a hamburger, right? Nope. I don't like a lot of relish in mine. I'm gonna do some salt and some pepper. Can anybody guess what this is? Anybody know what I'm making? I am making Thousand Island dressings. And I can tell by the color. See, this is where you guys can go online and find recipes, but I want you to be comfortable to try things. I can do this. It's just, again, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, tiny bit of yellow mustard, a little bit of relish, and salt and pepper. But I can see this salad dressing. You guys, you know these things. You can do this. This salad dressing isn't red enough. So I'm gonna add a little bit more ketchup, because I can tell it's not the right color of Thousand Island dressing. Yep, you guessed it, Thousand Island dressing. There you are. One of the things that I love is that they make vegan salad dressing. So if you have a vegan you're cooking for, or even a vegetarian, well, vegetarian can use regular mayonnaise, but if you have a vegan you're cooking for, you can use that and use all these ingredients and make them a salad dressing, and they'll love it. Thousand Island, you're right, Jessica. So there's that, and again, how we try things is with a leaf of lettuce. And I'm gonna be smart and take a tiny bite now. So I can keep talking. So there you go. Now this salad dressing is the dressing on, and actually, I didn't even have to adjust it. It tastes good. This salad dressing is not only a good salad dressing, it's great in the summer on crab louie, shrimp louie. I love to take a big salad, put some crab or shrimp on it, put some eggs and boiled eggs and some tomatoes, and then drizzle this over the top, and it makes an awesome louie salad. My husband's favorite sandwich is a patty melt. This is the ingredient on a patty melt. So this is one of those things I can save for a few days, plan ahead, and know that, okay, this week I'm gonna make a patty melt in 3 days, so I'll make a little extra. But it really is quick and easy. So this is way better than having all this stuff sit for days with, I wanna say bad ingredients. It's not bad ingredients, but it's chemicals and things, And it saves you money because you have all these ingredients. You can do this. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's asking, I like to use cocktail sauce instead of ketchup in my salad dressing. Well, let's talk about that. I make my own cocktail sauce too. Cocktail sauce is ketchup, horseradish, and lemon juice. That's all it is. I don't even buy cocktail sauce because when you make that, and I want you to get used to practicing your ingredients, that cocktail sauce is one of those things that I worked at Chuck's Seafood Grotto in Snohomish, and we made it by the tubs, and it was awesome. And so cocktail sauce, sorry for the companies that make it, but it's just ketchup, lemon juice, and horseradish sauce. So, and that is a good tip, Sarah. If you make some of that, you can add it to it, and that gives it a zing. It's actually pretty cool. Hi Angela. Ranch. So does anybody know what the secret ingredient in ranch is? It has herbs and spices. It has your sour cream and your mayonnaise base. But the other thing it has is tarragon. That's all it is. Tarragon. So let's talk about tarragon. I keep it fresh in the summer. I just planted some last night, as a matter of fact. I love tarragon in things, as I've said before on my vinaigrette. But that's that flavor you taste in ranch that's, you don't know why it tastes different than everything else, and it's the amount of tarragon in it. So let's talk about dry ingredients. So dry herbs need oil. And the example I have is when everyone knows how to make tacos from the, ground beef, the taco seasoning packet. This is where you know this stuff, but you don't know why. Once you know why, it opens up a whole new world in the kitchen. So you have your taco seasoning. If you read the package, it says brown the hamburger, drain the hamburger. While the hamburger still has some oil on it, you're gonna add the seasoning packet, mix it around before you add the water. In a lot of cases, you're doing something you don't even know you're doing. When it comes to dry ingredients, they need oil. If you put them in water, or dry ingredients, dry herbs, when you put them in water, they just sit there. But if you start with your oil, which oil in this case for mayonnaise is mayonnaise in our case. So I'm going to add it to there because basically that's what it is. And I'm going to mix it up a little and leave it sit for a minute. What it does is it makes the herbs bloom. So in a taco, back to ground beef taco, everyone since the 70s has been doing this. You ground your beef, you toss the seasoning, dried seasoning, and then you add the water. Just that few seconds between it getting in the oil and getting coated with oil before the water goes in makes all the difference in the world. It blooms the seasoning so that it actually adds flavor to your dish. So when you remember that, you'll always know when to add what. So again, you got this, you know this, you can do this. So I've got some onion I'm gonna add. And I chose this because and some salt. That's the other thing, everybody likes the Hidden Valley Ranch. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but that ranch everyone loves because it has so much salt in it. So now I let that sit a minute. I'm mixing it up. Now you can add anything you like, but see how it's so stiff? This is another lesson why I chose this. I'm going to add a tiny bit of vinegar to this. It gives it that buttermilk bite. I added apple cider vinegar. Now it's a little bit loose. If I want it as a dip, this is what I would do. See how it's nice and creamy? If I were to want it for a salad dressing to drizzle, I would add milk, because milk will liquefy it and not water it down and add a richness to it. But it doesn't need it. You don't taste it as much. It's a great dip. And there you have it, ranch dressing. So there's that one. The other one I absolutely love, and I'm actually bringing on this week. We do, to make it through the COVID, we do dinner delivery and pickup for dinners. And this week we're adding our famous, followed gorgonzola dip to go with our chips. And we're also going to add a dill dip, so that when you're stuck at home, you can still sit around the fire in the evening on the summer night and have your chips and dip. But the blue cheese dressing, gorgonzola dressing, it's not a secret. It's mayonnaise, it's shredded blue cheese, and some apple cider vinegar, or depending on which kind of dip you're making or salad dressing you're making, is a dip. It's a vinegar. So I'm wondering if anybody else, hi Debbie, hi Mike, hi Laura. So let's do a rundown. I'm sorry, I'm trying to work on my computer here and make sure I'm covering everything we talked about, or we need to talk about. Okay, so Caesar dressing is simply mayonnaise, a little bit of vinegar or milk to make it a little more pliable, and garlic, lots of garlic, and salt and pepper, and lemon juice. That's it. So let's talk about lemon juice. Lemon juice is something that is really important for balance, and I started to talk about this earlier, is balance. When you taste your salad dressing, you need to taste it and see if it has balance. If it seems a little heavy and needs like lightening up, that's where lemon juice comes in. But lemon juice is also an acid, so it's like a vinegar. So vinegar can lighten things up, but not like lemon juice. Sometimes you need both. But when you're experimenting, and that's what this class is about, is trying to get you in your kitchen to be comfortable and experiencing it, not just following a recipe, but actually, hi Debbie, but actually enjoying it and tasting it and feeling it, because I can tell you it comes out in your cooking and your food. And once you get comfortable with the balance of things and being able to add the umami, which is the richness, which is like a tomato paste, or adding vinegar or lemon juice to brighten it, or adding pepper for a finish. Once you go through this series and you learn this, you'll just walk in the kitchen, grab ingredients, and make stuff, and enjoy it, and taste it. And I never realized, I have to say this, I never realized what influence I had on my children until my kids started cooking. And they were cooking, and they know, not necessarily a recipe, but they know balance, and they know the way things are supposed to taste and the way they want, but to be able to adjust them and make them the way they want. Honey mustard, there's another dressing we can make. I'm gonna get, again, mayonnaise based. If it's a creamy dressing, usually it's mayonnaise. So we're just gonna take some mayonnaise. We're gonna add some yellow mustard. That's what makes the color. And it has quite a bit. I'm gonna grab my honey here, right here. I'm gonna add it in. And again, this is, my mom always said, your taste is all in your mouth, and it's true. It depends on what you like. I like things on the sweeter side of things, but some people like things on the savory side of things. So you can see this, honey, mustard, mayonnaise, mix it up. Now, I can see that it needs a little salt and pepper, because everything needs salt and pepper. But you always put it at the end to make sure that you got everything right first. Again, you need to taste this all the way. I stopped tasting because I can't talk and chew those lettuce while we're going. But I will taste this to see if it needs vinegar or if it needs brightening or what it needs. So let's do this. So always, if you're just tuning in now, if you're making salad dressings, everything is vinegar-based, salt, oil and vinegar, or a mayonnaise base, and you always taste with lettuce or a green. Oh, see, that's good just the way it is. Again, once in a while, you can add a vinegar. So what people might not know is that mustard is actually a ground dried ingredient that is basically added to with a mustard. That's why it has that mustardy, the mustard has a vinegary flavor. So there you go. Honey mustard dressing, right like that. Why buy dressing again? So welcome, and let's see, cucumber dill is a good thing. It's sour cream, mayonnaise, equal parts. You add, I like to shred like you shred cheese on a cheese grater. I like to grate my cucumbers into my dressing and then add some fresh dill. I have another thing to tell you about. Oh, wrong one. Dill. So when you buy dill, if you could buy fresh and grow it in your garden or on your patio, it's awesome. But when you end up with a lot, did you know you can just spread it on a cookie sheet, make sure it's not clumped up, leave it alone, and it'll dry over a couple of days, and then you just crumble it into a jar, and it makes fresh dill you can use all year long. We at Chef Anne-Marie use all these ingredients. When we buy a big amount, we make it into something else because that's saving money, and that's what you want to do. So let's look at, I think I've covered everything except French. French dressing, I have a big tub of it here because it's on our menu. French dressing is one of those things I make in abundance because we use it in everything. It is just grated onions and tomato paste in an oil and vinegar dressing, and I do it in the blender because it helps to emulsify. So we do what we did in the beginning, which is the red wine vinegar, some herbs, parsley and things, and oil with a little bit of Dijon mustard. We put it in the blender, we blend it. Remember, the Dijon mustard will actually emulsify it so it'll stay together better. And it only takes a little bit. And then we add tomato paste and a little bit of onion salt. And then, I'm sorry, not onion salt, granulated onion. And then I also grate fresh onion into it, and it comes out just like this. And again, salt and pepper, taste it, adjust it, do what you need to do. But this is another favorite. We've had several people ordering from our, with our dinners to go. So that's another great one. Let's see what else I need to cover, because I totally planned this, but I didn't practice because I get nervous. So I just start talking and cooking. So time savers. One of the things, the reason why I have notes is because I did a video and asked people what they wanted to learn and to help them be comfortable in the kitchen. And one of them was they wanted to know time savers. Making your salad dressing on cue, basically, is one of those things that is worth it. if I'm doing a big party, then yeah, we make it in bulk. Or if like the dinner's to go and we've got a lot going on. But when I go home and cook at home, I like to make the salad dressing to go with the salad and to just be on a whim. So like tomorrow night, we might have a lemon vinaigrette. And 2 days from then, we might have a raspberry vinaigrette. And by the way, if you don't have fresh raspberries, raspberry jam works good to make a raspberry vinaigrette. It's actually better because you don't have all the fresh chunks in it. I like to use both, but it's all about keeping those basics in your kitchen and having them the way you like them, not the way the store makes them with all the chemicals and expense. You already own this stuff. You can totally do this. So I think I've finished with, I'm gonna do a quick recap. Wash your hands, don't lick your fingers. Oh, I forgot one tip that I wanted to say. Let me look here. Again, you're always gonna get this because I get nervous if I practice. I don't practice, I just do. One of the things that we needed to talk about, and I'm not seeing it in here, was, and I don't want to say it wrong, that's why I'm looking it up, was get your mayonnaise off the, I couldn't remember. Well, here it is. Okay, so I always say this and I couldn't remember which one I said, so I'm going to tell you both. Get your mayonnaise and your milk off the fridge door. So the fridge door, the temperature when you open and close it, and your teenage boy stands and keeps it open looking for something to eat, or your husband or you, the temperatures are varying. And salad dressings and ketchups and vinegars and mustards and all those things can handle that. They totally are good. They can handle all the temperature change. And even if it's just a few degrees, it doesn't matter because they're fine in there. They just need to be, for the most part, refrigerated. But milk and mayonnaise both don't like that. So that's why they go bad quicker. So what I do is make sure you take your mayonnaise and your milk and put it inside the fridge, because then it's not going to have that varying temperature. So I hope that's another tip. The idea of these is tips for you, so that's that. You get the mayonnaise off the door, put it inside the refrigerator. We will publish this again, and I know Meredith's watching, so thanks, Meredith. We will publish this again of all the things that you should have in your cupboard. I encourage you, we have a post that says which ingredients don't you have, and I know Jean, you went on and did that. And if you keep all this stuff all the time anyways, why wouldn't you do this? It's a total time saver. You don't have, it's less money. We're all in this together, and as things go along, some things are going to get better and some things are going to get worse, and that's just life. But saving money and watching your health and taking care of yourself is really important. And you know, at the end of the day, I encourage you to go into your kitchen, cook dinner. Depending on my mood, whether it's a cup of coffee because it's been a long day, a glass of wine, a cold iced tea, I get a drink, I turn on my favorite music, and I just cook and just let it go where you go. When we get you comfortable in the kitchen, it's going to be a place where you can deflate all the day's stress. You can make your family dinner, whether it be your boyfriend, spouse, girlfriend, kids. It's a gathering place, and it makes it an amazing place. So I really highly recommend that you guys do these 6 series, get comfortable with ingredients, and let dinner time or lunchtime be a good place to be. Saving money, saving health, all those things. So next week, dun, 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 we are doing planning food and preparing meals all at once so that I can get busy in the kitchen. I'm going to tell you about a day. We're going to cook a bunch of things and make it so that you still go in the kitchen in the evening and de-stress, but then it's even less stress that you have some of the things already made. So thank you for watching, and Chef Anne-Marie appreciates all of your support with the dinners to go, and let's make this cooking series amazing and bless a lot of people. Thank you. Gotta shut off the thing. Have a wonderful Mother's Day.